All right, what it do, y'all? This your boy Pat coming at y'all once again, saying thank y'all joining me on this Monday right here. And that's today we got a little special thing going on right here. You saw like the title of the stream, I'm sitting right here and I'm chatting with Thorne Midnight, and of course they got my Goofy right there. Like I said, it can't be my stream unless Goofy sounds off. All right. But like I was saying, I'm sitting right here. I'm chilling with Thorne Midnight, and I'm chilling with Unchained. What's going on, y'all?
Hey y'all, doing good, man.
Oh shit! Oh damn! What the? Oh shit! Oh, now my.
Oh, you got the delay coming in from the YouTube now, right?
Mm-hmm. No, see, it was on my other side.
I just turned the speaker off on my YouTube tab. Just now.
All right. Now in the chat right now, like, what's going on? We got Madness right here. We got American Phoenix basically saying, how do y'all? Damn, Thorne looking fine right there.
Oh, indeed.
Got the purple lipstick.
Yeah, she's got the purple going on, things like that, with all the dark hair and the chokers going on, like. And of course, I'm sitting right here, with this white T-shirt right here, and just sweating my ass off because I can't even turn on my goddamn fan, and this itty bitty one right here ain't doing jack.
I'm just chilling as an avatar.
We all need to be chilling right now. All right, yeah. But I brought these two on here for a special reason, because the topic that we're going to be talking on has to do with a lot of things I'm trying to find out. Like, my thing is right here, ever since my kids have been growing up, right? I got one, who's 19 now. Just celebrated her birthday last Saturday. Not this past Saturday, but like Saturday before that, July 11th. She's 19 years old. Now my other kids are like 15 and 16. Now they're out there doing their thing and stuff like that. Hardly being around me, and I'm able to, get a lot of time and money on my hands and things like that. I'm starting to go through, and revise the old bucket list right here. I got a whole lot of things that, everybody should have one of these that I have to do, before, I take that, that trip away from here, and a whole lot of things I have. And it's like, and one of these things that I have on here is that I want to explore a nudist colony, And so when I had put down a tweet on Twitter like a few weeks ago, asking does anybody know anybody, can I interview like a nudist, anybody from that, lifestyle, things like that. And of course, Fantasy Fanatic, she recommended me Unchained right here. So I basically, talked to him on Twitter and say, I could talk about, the whole entire thing. And then Thorne, you messaged me, you say, I'm a nudist. I know a lot about the lifestyle. And I'm like, all right, you feel like coming on stream and talking to me? And here they both are.
And thanks for having me. Yeah.
All right, no problem, man. And thank y'all for being here, because all right, so my first question is about the whole entire thing is all right, how did y'all get into the nudist lifestyle? How did y'all get started? Start with you, Thorne.
Yeah, ladies first. Yeah.
Okay, ladies first. Well, I'll preface this by saying that I've never actually physically been to a nudist colony, so I can't really speak to that. My experience with nudism is actually just the nude beaches. So the main way that me and my husband both got into it when we moved to Florida, we learned that there was, I think it's the only 100% legal. It was for a while the only legal nude beach, or the first legal nude beach in the United States, and It's just north of Miami Beach, and it's called Haulover Beach. So we decided that we were going to go one day, and I was really, really nervous because I was interested in the idea. That the prohibition for nudity is kind of stupid, and it's a really weird place that we have a hang up as people. And everybody started so I'm just like, okay, let's go, let's do it. It's it's clothing optional. I don't have to. And sorry, and it was just interesting that it's just like a normal beach, except nobody's wearing clothes.
Yeah.
I went on a tangent. But that was my first experience, and ever since I really, really miss Haulover. It's one of the only things I miss about Florida, and it was just the idea of not being constrained or having to worry about something falling off. And then
There's a freedom, isn't there?
there's a freedom to it. I was interested in that aspect of the freedom of just like not having to worry about anything and just being yourself in a lovely setting and relaxing and truly like taking it all off literally was the appeal for me. It was nice.
Adam and Eve.
Minus the sunburn on my ass.
Well,
I brought my regular sunscreen and it wasn't enough for the part of me that didn't get any sun.
Oh, I was about to say, like, say you didn't. I'm saying you didn't get the sunscreen to rub everywhere. Like,
I
my
did,
wife
but
needs
apparently
sunscreen.
it wasn't enough for that part because it never actually sees the sun.
I'm half African.
Oh,
I don't need the sunscreen. My wife does.
what about you, Unchained?
I needed anything heavier than like 10 SPF, and I was wrong. That was awful, but other than that, it was great.
Oh man, that's so like fun. What about you, Unchained?
Well, I've been married to how long I've been married to my wife actually works into this nudity here. It took me golly, I think about 30 over 30 years to finally talk my wife into going to a nudist resort. And we went. And we went to a beautiful place here in the state of Washington. Well, like I was saying, the freedom. I do better if you ask more questions about specifics. But I love it.
Oh, we're gonna get into it.
I love it. Yeah.
Because everybody said like
top things.
Cause cause when it comes to like to nudism and things like that, there are a lot of questions out there and a lot of like speculation that people basically make and all that right there. I've heard from one side, people like to about, it's just like the freedom, the enjoyment of basically like being nude and things like that, around people who feel the same way. And like, there's no judging. There's no harassment or any kind of things like that. People are just basically enjoying themselves and basically, hanging around like it's on a regular beach and things like that, except that everybody is butt naked. Then there are there's the speculations of people, are just basically doing it either for attention or they're just being exhibitionists and things like that, because there have been like many incidents where people, who call themselves nudists and they try to and they basically, they go out there and they go out there in the actual public, in actual society, doing the nude things and things like that, it creates a lot of controversy. And, a lot of arguments get done and things like that. There's a whole lot of, political things, we want to be nude. We're nude and free and we should be able to do this and do that right there. It creates this it creates this horrible stigma, which is really messed up. Cause like I said, a lot of people see, some people see it as exhibitionism and things like that, while some just be like, oh, these people just just being attention seekers and they want to be naked in public and all that right there. But majority of people who are nudists that I've actually seen things like that, well, basically like y'all, that they like to be in like certain designated areas and things like that. They're not really like trying to push it in people's faces. They're usually on the beaches, the resorts, or in the privacy of their own, their own homes and things like that. So it's like, how do y'all feel when it comes to like that right there? When you see like people like actually in society, like for instance, like somebody just walks in butt naked up in Walmart and things like that, and then making a huge gigantic scene. Like
that's either a fetish or a mental illness at that point. Yeah. Because I don't really feel bad because I know that person's not actually a nudist. They're either using it for a cover or they're just nuts. So I try not to get offended by things that aren't true.
Nudists tend to actually care quite a bit about not wanting to offend folks. In fact, a lot of advice is given to other nudists within the nudist community, so to speak. If you're here or there on internet or in real life talking with folks. Like say you're out to someplace where you're in a national park. There is no federal law against nudism. And so if you're at a hot springs or something, recommendations a lot of times will be always keep a towel near you so that you can, or even a pair of shorts or what have you, so that if somebody comes and you can tell they are uncomfortable with the situation, you can respect their feelings and cover up,
Yeah.
But someone is mentioning, I've been to a nudist beach 2 times in my life. It's not like they show you in the movies. No, it's a lot of really old people. It is a lot of old.
It's like if you.
Shit. It's like 80% boomers. 80%.
Yeah. It's like if you go to Walmart and you look at all the regular folks all over the place and took off their clothes, that's what nudism is. It's not a whole lot of Hollywood foxes and studs,
Yeah. Actually,
it's not
I know
Temptation Island.
Yeah, no, it is not.
It's a lot of flab.
It is very wrinkly, Temptation Island. It's very wrinkly. There's a lot of bad tans. Yeah. But I know that there's some nudist camps and nudist colonies that actually ran into or are running into a problem with like their population is aging and they're all dying because they only let people that were like 55 and above into the colony.
Oh, that's screwy. Yeah.
You shoot yourself in the foot from jump. And they can't find enough people that are 55 and under. And then the only ones that are interested in joining are like in their 20s and 30s, and they're just like, no, you're going to be too rowdy. I don't get it. That was a gripe that I had because we actually looked into joining a nudist colony, and they wouldn't let us in because we're under 50.
They didn't want any pierced genitals and nipples and stuff. Maybe
I actually have an age thing in my ears. That's a kicker, and I've seen old women with their stuff pierced now.
I wasn't suggesting you, but I'm thinking about the general idea of what young folks like to do now.
Yeah, no, they're making a generalization of younger people, which is shitty and wrong.
Yeah.
I just want to try the full nude. Is that so hard? Jeez.
All right, now another question.
Sorry.
Oh, great. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, another question I want to ask, like, what I'm saying, with everybody, regardless of the age and things like that, like when you're seeing a whole bunch of nude bodies and things like that, like men and women and stuff like that, it's like, how does one keep themselves from thinking like a naked body's in front of me and like something sexual conscious like this? Yeah.
Okay.
I actually asked about that on a forum once, and they were saying, well, if you get one, you just kind of roll over and wait until it goes away.
Yeah. Okay. And being a penis owner, I'll follow up with this one. You have to understand here, it's not just the fact that you're seeing naked bodies all around you. Yours is naked too. The likelihood of a fella getting an erection at a nudist resort is so damn small, I haven't seen it happen. I do remember one time, my wife and I were on a dance floor, and I had a romantic kiss with her while we were dancing, and I started remembering when we first met, and all of a sudden I knew something was going on. I took a look down, and I went, oh no. And we were walking off the dance floor, and she had, a lot of times ladies will actually not be completely nude. Women tend to, a lot of times, wear what's called nude apparel or something, and she was kind of holding up for we were walking off. So, but actually, I haven't seen a full hard on going on anywhere. It does not happen.
I asked if it happened in a nudist forum, and he's like, it happened. I just rolled over and waited until it went away. You just don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, I remember a guy that one time he was on a couch in the lodge, and he was lying down across, taking up the whole couch, lying on his stomach for a long time. And I was thinking, well, this is against the rules, lying on the couch, taking up all that space and stuff. But I thought, you know what? Perhaps he's got a hard on and he's waiting for it to go down. So I didn't say anything.
You try not to. That's also a good reason of why I bring a towel.
Mm.
Yeah, oh yeah. You always bring a towel because the thing is, it is absolutely not acceptable for at a nudist resort for a person to sit their bum down without putting the towel down first.
Especially
Mm.
for the ladies.
You sit on a towel.
Yeah.
Oh, just in case, like, for ladies, like that, yeah, sanitary reasons, things like that,
Sanitary reasons. Everybody's built differently. There's all kinds of reasons you don't want to pick up something from somebody else because you sat down without a towel also. Yeah, so everybody has a
Mhm.
towel. A nudist carries a towel with them. It's part of the deal.
And I've seen a few. I've talked to a few female nudists that are just like, I just wear underwear all the time.
Females tend to be like that. It's wild because in life, in the general public, women are exhibitionists. Y'all show it. Y'all show all kinds of skin. But when it comes to the nudist lifestyle, tend to cover up.
Mm.
Yeah, that was covering up. I mean, stuff down there, stuff happens. So just easier to fucking deal with.
Yeah, just be glad you don't ever have an erection that shows.
Okay, so you
Again, Pat, it doesn't happen.
You get to deal with the erection. I get to deal with potential snail trail. So.
The infamous snail trail problems.
That's why it's
ARB.
Guide to the Galaxy rules at every nudist colony. Bring your towel.
Yeah, and that's what I've been hearing. Like so far, what I've been hearing, like the most places that I'd be like they say that the nudist camps or resorts and things like that are mostly like in Florida. You said there was one in Washington and things like that. So it's like
oh yeah, there's more than one in Washington. Oh yeah.
Closest one to me in Illinois. There's one in technically, as a crow flies, the closest one is Sauk City, Wisconsin. And the next closest one is in Indiana. I want to go to the one in Sauk City, Wisconsin, because I just assume everything in Indiana sucks.
Naked cities in Indiana and stuff. Yeah, when I was a little itty bitty boy, I shouldn't have remembered it, but I did because my brother wasn't born yet, and he's only a year and a half younger than me. But I remember when we went to Camp Zorro, which nowadays is called Naked City or something. But it used to be a family type resort. The resort my wife and I were members of was a family resort. It was, in fact, you'd get people angry if you even started bringing up the idea of piercings. They started to allow them for nipples, but people have had problems and been kicked out for genital stuff. It's very family. I've had friends where I've seen the whole deal with the woman get pregnant, have the baby, nurse a child, get pregnant, have another baby, nurse a child, watch teenagers grow up, bald. Oh, all of a sudden, look at that! There's a big patch on that crotch now. It's very family, and all the men are like uncles to the kids. Like if there's going to be no way that anybody would ever be improper, or they get their ass kicked before they got kicked out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
it's not a bunch of pervs.
Yeah, because Madness says right here like the nudist camping had their problems with creeps though, especially the more illegal kinds. And say they're allowed to stay there for some reason. Like I'm trying to see what he's talking about.
Well, at the camp I was at, they got something called a DNA. That's a do not admit list, and people end up on that DNA. That means if they ever try to come back in again and they look on the list and they are DNA, do not admit, they're not coming back. In fact, not only do they not come back, phone calls will be made to all the other nudist resorts in the general area and surrounding geography. Yeah, to tell them about this creep who comes and sits with their sunglasses on in a dark nightclub all the time, staring at everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one that me and my husband were looking to join. Not only do you have to do like a background check, they specifically say in the bylaws, if you are on a list, you're not allowed to come here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Like, because I've seen a documentary. They say they do like background checks and things like that. So I'm saying, so they're like being really careful, like who they're, who they're like allowing in and things like that. And so far, like I've been hearing, like like well, little to like like nothing has been basically been going down.
I think it's because when everybody is naked, it ceases to be a big deal.
Mm.
Yes.
Everybody's on an equal playing field all of a sudden. Nobody's wearing any clothes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can't show off how fancy of expensive clothing that you've got or anything like that. Of course, you do tell, sometimes you can tell somebody's got some money because of the kind of vehicles they came to the club with. But outside of that, I mean, you can't. It's very real. It's a very talk about when you go to a party. So many folks enjoy a good party where you can let your hair down, so to speak. Just let your hair down. Just be cool and real. And nudism is very real. It's just
you
very
think
real.
like. Yeah, you think like we starting out, like like as a rookie nudist and things like that, it kind of tends to get a little awkward because you're not used to being naked yourself and around a lot of people, especially like of the opposite sex and things like that. But as time goes by, you like you're around a lot of people who who's nude all the time. You just basically like form like this immune to it, like they're naked, I'm naked. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, and you're not going to get a hard on, my brother. It won't happen. Okay, it won't. This is, and I'm bringing this up because I can tell you I did a lot of research on nudism before I actually took the step with my wife, and every time I tried to bring up the topic of erections, because I was curious and I was wondering, am I going to worry about this, et cetera, et cetera, and what happens? Am I going to become scum of the earth because my body did something I had no control over? And it's a very shunned topic. Folks do not even want to talk about that in the nudist world. But I'll tell you this, it doesn't happen. It's too bad they won't allow much talk socially. It ain't gonna happen, buddy. It won't, because you're also on display, and unless you're some sort of an exhibitionist, sexual exhibitionist who likes to fuck in front of people, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, like somebody at R&B had asked earlier, wouldn't that be a form of flattery? No, it would be like basically it's a nudist equivalent of somebody running up to you on the street and flashing you with a trench coat. Like, no, it wouldn't be okay. You're just flaunting the fact that you have a boner in the middle of people who don't give a fuck that you have a boner.
It took me actually a long time, as in months later, till I look back on some things that happened to me with drunk women at the nudist resort, when I realized, what, they were trying to see if they could get me to have a hard-on for fun by some things that they did, because they were drunk. And when I tell my wife about some of this, she would laugh. Well, she laughed because she knew she had me and nobody else was going to get me anyway. But no, the boner didn't happen. But it took me a while to figure it out. So
yeah, I got the one dude who had the one response.
What they were doing.
One dude, and he's just like, he just thought it was because he was napping and he woke up with it and just rolled over.
Yeah, that's one thing us guys have. It's like, say we're taking a nap in the car. It's our turn to drive. Got to get out of the car, go around to the other side. Got a hard on in the pants there. going to sleep will give a boner easy. Isn't that true, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens.
That's kind of
right on the school bus.
Yeah, American Phoenix said if she ran up and flashed me, Thorne, I'd be flattered.
Thorne, were you gonna flash?
No.
You're gonna get our boy Pat cut off of YouTube doing that crap.
I said Thorne wouldn't do that right there,
No,
that's the other thing. It's not fair. Pat's allowed to take his shirt off on camera, and I'm not.
Yeah,
it isn't fair.
That's why I said clothing optional. Like I said,
it's not.
I'm doing the optional so I can just keep it fair right there. She can't take hers off, so therefore, I have to keep mine on. Besides, if I take mine off, like I'm saying, this swole right here will just break the internet.
The other thing I will point out is that I don't think this is the case with all nude beaches, but at Haulover, there's a section that's like sectioned off by fence where it's like this area here in the middle is the clothing optional area. Everywhere else, you have to wear clothing. And the other parts of that beach were completely dead. No one was there in like the clothes part of the beach. Anybody knows anybody, like whether they were wearing clothes or not, they were on the nude part. And it was interesting because there were not that many people that had any kind of clothes on at all. And this is the first time in my life I ever saw somebody kicked off of a beach, but there was a dude that was like in full fucking a running suit.
Yeah, clothing optional invites golfers.
Yeah, he started walking up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like, there was like a beach guard or whatever, and she just comes up and she's like, you need to leave. You need to leave right now. So we're literally at a nude beach, and the only guy that got kicked out, and I don't know what he did, but I assume it was perverted. The only guy that got kicked out was the one that was wearing clothes.
Yeah, I'm not, me personally, and I had some disagreements with quite a few people at the nudist resort we were members of. I don't like the clothing optional type thing. Personally, I think you're going to have to take it off and join in or not, because clothing optional leaves so much room for gawkers. Folks, and I have met some, and actually, I remember one in particular that comes to my mind. He ended up on the DNA. He ended up do not admit. Yeah, it was wild. This guy. He had himself a heavy robe that he bought, and just for the night there that he came with his wife, and she wouldn't take it off. She didn't want to come in the first place, and he wanted to come, but he didn't take it off, and it was summertime, my friends, and he was dripping all over his face, and I'm thinking, dude, take it off. He was dripping perspiration down his face, and just watching the girls dance, and then making comments like something about watching two women dance together. And I said something. He says, "Well, I'm a guy. Of course I like that." I'm thinking, I'm a guy too, man, and I'm not getting turned down by watching my two friends dance just because they're women. You perv.
Club. Just go to a strip club. Shit.
Nah, yeah, it's
no
like
kidding.
It's like there are places for for things like that.
That's right.
They're probably dancing to titillate you at a strip club. Why would you just want to see a bunch of people like flailing around on the dance floor?
Yeah, if you're gonna be like that, then don't come to a nudist resort. If you're not gonna take your clothes off too.
Yeah,
I see some funny stuff.
Yeah, because that's my thing right there. Is like if I'm ever going to take this step to actually to do this once, I want to make sure I'm going in there with the understanding of what to do, all the rules to abide by and things like that, and just go downright have some fun, and make friends in the process and things like that. That's why I'm basically talking to a lot of people.
Oh, you'll
doing
make
a lot of research.
Yeah,
doing a lot of research and things like that.
Incredibly friendly.
Yeah, you'll meet some real people.
Very
another question, things like that is like, how very rare are black nudists and things like this.
Rare?
About as rare as they are.
Not many.
Like not a whole lot, really.
Not many black nudists. I have my guesses as to why, but there are not many black nudists.
Most of them are gay men. That I've seen, like any of the first black that I saw were gay guys.
I have shared dinner, in the resort that we went to. There, we used to go once a month for dance night, and we'd have a potluck dinner and before the dance and stuff. And there's long tables, like cafeteria, but it's in the lodge. So you might be sitting with your friends, you might be sitting with somebody new that you've never met before. And I have enjoyed some company with some black folks, but that's very rare, very rare. Mostly, I was going to say mostly white, but not necessarily. just mostly not black. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not many black folks. So
Some Hispanic folks. There, at least, I mean, it's Miami. There's going to be a ton of Hispanic folks, I guess. That was a dumb comment.
No, yeah.
various Asian.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the area too. I don't know.
I would imagine it.
Nudist club. They're very well.
I'm in the Great White North. I'm in Washington. You know, so there's a lot of white folks in this area, either that and Native Americans. So that might, yeah. But no, I don't see that there's many black folks. Of course, that's not important, is it, Pat?
Yeah, I said
demographic for Hullover Beach was more like, I said 80% old people, like a solid 80%, and like 15% like a lot of gay men, and 5% everybody else. Is roughly what we're looking at, including like the odd tourists in here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And man, everybody is really friendly. Like they'll just come up and talk to you.
That's the thing right there. Like, like doing the whole entire thing, like getting to know people, because I'm probably going to be like asking them questions and things like too. Like, how did y'all get into it? It's like, what all they do. Because I know like especially like most of these resorts, they don't just sit around, like butt naked and not do anything. They have like a whole lot of activities and things like that. Like day-to-day activities for like for people to do, just to keep them like entertained, and of course, in the beaches, everybody's just for basically relaxing and just having a good time. From what I hear.
Badness, the nudist camps here are usually families, and the one that my father forced me to be at had a rule that people had to be nude. I was a young teenager, so I was like, no. See, that's why I don't like the rule that says you have to be nude, because I don't know, that does get under my skin a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you should be forced to be completely nude if you don't want to be. But again, why are you here if you're not going to be? Because if somebody's been taken, no, I don't know. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I was mulling something over. Never mind. I was more thinking out loud than anything else.
Yeah, Madness said he's in like a nudist camp is different from a nude beach. Like I can.
Yeah, it is. That's why I specified it with saying that I've never been to a nudist colony, because they wouldn't even let me through the door because I'm too young. Not from lack of interest, mind.
I'd love to tell you a funny little story about a woman that was shy for taking her clothes off. This man, a young man, just about everybody's a young man compared to me. I'm 60, but young fella, totally cut muscles. You could tell by looking at the guy that he works out with weight religiously. He takes real good care of his body. He's sharp and muscular, not like super crazy, but he's cut. Okay, so he had this girlfriend that he brought with him, and she was shy about taking her clothes off. So she had all her clothes off, but she'd walk around with one or two arms. She'd walk around with her two arms hugging her big breasts to her body, to her chest, and they were noticeably big, right? So this comes into play on this story. So they're going out on the lake, and wherever the fella was paddling them with the oars, she was always holding her breasts to her body, even when they're out on the lake at a distance from anybody's eyeballs. Okay, and so they're going all around the place. Well, it wasn't oars. It was the kind with pedals. You pedal it or something. Oh yeah, pedal boat. Yeah, so I was out on the dock, the deck dock that you walk out on and you sun on, and they had brought the pedal boat on up, and she was trying to get out of the pedal boat to the ladder to climb up onto the deck, but she kept trying to do this with never releasing her breasts to full view. And it was kind of goofy. It's like, lady, we all have no clothes on here. Okay, we've seen those kind of things you own. Okay, it's not that big a deal. Yeah. So she stumbled and fell into the lake, And then she's got her big ass boobs floating all over the water as she's trying to swim. And I was thinking, you just made it worse, hon. Yeah. She never came back again. The fella did, but his girlfriend just wasn't going to do it. And she was an attractive woman. She had nothing to be ashamed of. So, jeez.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what was she afraid they were gonna fall off or something? Like,
she didn't. I don't know. I don't own women boobs, but I imagine she didn't want anybody to see her nipples or something. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I saw her with all her clothes off one time or another there, from the mistakes and the accident. Like I said, she was floating all over the top of the water there. Mm-hmm. But geez, just it was silliness. It was just plain silliness.
Mm-hmm. Some people just they just, like I said, they never go overcome that shyness, especially if it's their first time, because they're not knowing what to expect. Things like that. So that's why I say, it's like it's not. You don't think it's not best to just dive in this thing like head first, like, yeah, I'm gonna go to a nude beach or a nude kind and things like that, and not like actually research or what you're doing and things like that. Then all of a sudden you get there and just like, well, this is embarrassing. Like,
yeah, I do think that colonies, camps, and beaches all have very different kind of vibes to them too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've not been to a nude beach.
They're nice. I think skinny dipping is like one of my top 10 most enjoyed things ever.
I skinny dipped in a swimming pool at a motel when I was in the Air Force. When I first met my wife, we skinny dipped. We skinny dipped. Us and the other airmen.
I like the overhead, one of those things where you could actually just walk out like really, really far into the water, because the water's only like 3 feet deep.
Right, yeah.
So it's really nice.
That sounds cool.
Me, if I'm getting in water, especially like anything close to an ocean and things like that, I'm only going knee deep, because some up in there.
That'll pull you off. Yeah, sit down in the water.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I don't know,
cool off.
I'm
Go out there, sit down in the shallow.
Yeah, it's nice. But
so for a first time, do y'all think would you recommend like a beach or a resort? Like which one would you say, like, for somebody who's like doing it for like their first time and things like that, to like really break the ice? Like, which one would y'all recommend?
I don't know, to break the ice, I kind of go with the beach, because the stakes there are just like, the stakes are kind of low at that point. Like, you haven't committed to staying a whole week like you would at camp. Like, because if you don't like that part of the beach, you can just leave and go do something else if you decide it's not your thing. I'm just saying, like, the bar for failure is low there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Unchained?
Well, the nudist resort that we went to, you could just go for the day, and that's how we did it. Well, we had to drive very far to get there. So what we would do is we would either get a room at a cabin on the resort, or we would save our money by pitching a tent. And we like.
Did you have to say pitch a tent?
Pitch a tent, yeah, in the tent area, because it was less cost to have a spot, to pitch the tent, than to get a room with a kitchenette and everything and a bed and So we would pitch a tent. Yeah, we enjoyed it. We'd had friends that we'd pitch tents near each other, and pretty nice. But for a resort, if you don't like it, you can leave that day. Me, if you don't take your clothes off in 30 minutes, I'd get rid of you, but I didn't run the place.
I'm holding it in.
I'd be thinking, sorry, you knew that this was no clothing here when you came.
Funny pants, stop!
Because every time he said pitch a tent, I'm just like, yeah, that's why I'm doing this right here. I'm just holding it in too, man. I know everybody can see me too.
I'm telling you. Not until you and your special person are alone, and hopefully you're not making too much noise.
No, but as you sit up there just telling the story, you know, and we're just like pitching the tent, and when you're going out there and you're pitching your tent, and I'm just like sitting right here, like, God, hold it. Because I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, no, don't laugh at that. I'm just like, do not laugh at that, Pat. Damn it, Pat.
I didn't even realize it when I said it, for goodness sakes. Oh my goodness. I tell you, some folks, though, they, you know, the clothing option, like I said, I don't like it. I've had some situations where folks that are well-known members of the resort, for some darn reason, tended to seem to, I thought they were kind of thumbing their nose at the situation by walking around with their clothes on all the time. Even though I have seen these people with zero clothes on sometimes, they tended to most of the time have clothes on. And I didn't like that. And so it'd be like dinner time. We've got a roaring fire in the fireplace to keep everybody nice and toasty warm when you got your clothes off and it's winter time, and somebody opens the door and to cool the place down. And you know, somebody, this has happened more than once, somebody who's got clothes on says, close that door, right? No, open the door. Keep that door open. It's hot in here. I'd look at him, I'd say, take some clothes off.
Yeah, take some layers off. Actually do that. And not
yeah, Becca Farley saying, what are my chances of seeing a nude pad at Crystal Beach as Galveston? Is that a nude beach or? I don't know.
Beach. I know there's blank directories of the official and unofficial ones. That's the thing. See, the funny hanky stuff probably happens at the unofficial nude beaches.
Like I said, I have to look up Crystal Beach. If that's, I'm saying, if that's one of them, like I said, I have to sit up here and like, all right.
The ones that are officially sanctioned as nude beaches, I think, are very closely monitored because they want to keep that status.
I forgot the name. There's like the North American Nudist Association or something. There's some, I forget what it is. And like some resorts, you have to have that membership card, and they'll set it up for you right there. And we had that. And you can find out very easily, like from their sites, other places that are like that, because resorts that fall in line with this association, they have certain kinds of rules. And if the places don't follow these rules, they lose their status to be able to be associated. So, you know, now if you want hedonism and sex on the beach or something, I guess you'd go to the Caribbean. One of those special resorts like Heat on 2 or something, you know.
Fire Island.
Becca says it turns into one after hours sort of thing.
What's it?
Yeah, it turns into one after hours. The regular. Most turn into that after hours.
Do they?
Nude or not, and at least in my my.
Yeah, like I said, that's most people.
Like,
well, not at the resort I was at.
Just in the entirety of the Miami Beach coast, like the chances that if you were walking on the beach at night by the hotels, you will find someone fucking on the beach.
Oh my God.
That is a regular beach.
Now, how do you take your children to a place like that?
Well, I mean, the children aren't up at 2 a.m.
Well, the children aren't up at the time.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
If you're a good parent, they're not up.
What's going on, Corteca?
I actually I hated the regular Miami Beach.
Be right back.
Oh God, it's so slimy, and like there's used condoms, and it's gross. And then I went to Hollover, and everything's like neat and clean, and the water's pretty, and I'm just like, this is so much nicer. And there's it's just like one of my favorite places in the world now.
Yeah, you know, Miami Beach, like I said, you know, it'd be so, you know, like, well, it's not like that right now until all this, you know, nonsense is over, but it's like shit.
It's so grungy. I hate living there.
Man. Oh my God.
This is no good. Also, American Phoenix said, "Is the point of a nudist colony to feel free and not pressured? Wouldn't it be the same pressure on someone to be nude when they don't want to?" That's kind of where I'm coming from. So But then again, why are you at a nudist colony if you don't want to be?
Yeah, that's my thing right there. Like, because I'm like, well, if you're gonna be here and things like that, when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yeah, I think if you weren't sure you wanted to do this, maybe the clothing optional beach might have been better.
Mm-hmm. So that's probably gonna be my thing right there, especially like, since it's kind of like, checking this off the list thing. So it's like basically go to like a beach, just sit up here and chill, yeah, this is a very wonderful thing. Everybody's sitting right here, like chilling out, relaxing, and all that right there.
Getting it all over town with no tan lines. That's the other upside. No tan lines.
Right. Richo says South Australia. I can imagine how the ones like I said all around, because they got them in places like Australia, Brazil, and things like that. I think Brazil they like practically invented it.
Miami Beach is actually a topless beach. As long as you're not in the water, you're allowed to be topless on the shore in Miami Beach. I think because they just were handing out so many tickets to tourists, they're just like, no, fuck it, just be.
Yeah, just let them.
Folks from South America don't care. They just don't. It's just like, I'm not getting tan lines.
It's hard for me to tan anyway, so shit. Yeah. I think everything, like I said, try my best to avoid getting sunburned. Like, all right, who's gonna get all this right here for me?
If
it's anywhere, you're gonna get a burn on your ass.
I can tell you, I never did get a burn on my pecker. I didn't. I'm surprised. I never did. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that would suck.
Man.
Sunburn on your dick.
Put some sunscreen on those nipples, right, Thorne?
I never had that problem.
Oh, I'm not surprised. There's pigment in that area, generally speaking.
Oh yeah,
I'm really dark right now. I'm usually much paler than this.
Yeah, that is true right there. Like I said, like especially like women like who gotta get those deep tans, like get those deep dark tans and things like that, and they be in like bikinis, and of course when they take the top off of things like that, it's like that stuff be weird.
It's just a line.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was. Yeah. So yeah, women from Rio, they're just like, they're not gonna fuck with the tan lines. They were gonna be topless regardless. So they just like lifted the law just for Miami Beach.
Cause I'm like that just be some weird stuff. Like I said, got the tan is like as dark as me and things like that. And then all of a sudden it's like everything else is just like
well, you got a farmer's tan, Pat,
Huh?
You're dark below the sleeves, dark above the neck, right?
Yeah,
See,
right
there
there,
goes farmer's tan.
Mm-hmm. This is.
There we go.
And then especially basically where the shirt is, like you kind of like
you
need to even that out, my brother. You need to even that out. Go to
Unchained.
I try to, but my job is. My job is cooking, so of course it's hot right there, and I'm already sweating my ass off, and then step out here into the sun for like a little bit, even with the humidity, and it cooks you like God, no, man, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, said she would burn. She wouldn't be able to be outside till sundown.
Woo.
She's a ginger. So.
Oh yeah, Becca, she's a ginger, so.
The redheaded friend of mine. She was very milky skin type woman. She's a very milky skin type woman, and like my wife is fair skin, but not as much as this redhead. And they go around with sun hats. Definitely, they wear their sun hats. Yeah.
Oh yeah, keep it going.
I don't burn that very super easily, but I would imagine like an all over body sunburn would be atrocious.
And me, like I don't know, my body absorbs a lot of heat. Now I don't know how it is when it comes to like to the sun. I've never been sunburned before. So it's like
you've never been sunburned?
No.
Feels like a regular burn.
Good. It hurts.
It hurts a lot. Yeah.
You stay out long enough, you'll burn. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, me being in the military.
Nobody's immune. Nobody
Even
is
in the
immune.
military and like going to Iraq and things like that, you know, like you think I would have burned there, but no, it didn't.
Yeah,
Didn't
you
happen.
think you would have burned there? Yeah.
I
Well,
said it
you're
didn't
not
happen.
immune, my friend. You
I
could
know
get
I'm not.
one. Don't
I'm
push
not
it.
immune, but it's like, you know, I try my best, you know. Shoot, like
The sun burns everything.
like I said, keep myself hydrated and, you know, moisturized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like right now, I'm keeping myself moisturized with all the damn sweat. 'Cause I'm sweating my goddamn ass.
The worst part of
Oh,
it
I'm a
is
sweater.
when it starts to heal and then starts endlessly itching. That's fun. That's the worst part. There's
RVA
nothing
Darcy. He said.
nothing
He
to do.
said Becca Burns, not Tane.
Pick a bird, not ten. No, but that's the worst part. That was the worst part because I could not sit because it was itchy. I don't know why I'm talking about this.
American Fiend says.
Funny in retrospect. Wasn't funny when it was happening.
He says a sunburn feels like an hour into a tattoo where it doesn't hurt anymore and it's just hot and tender.
Yeah, I read that. I have never had tattoos. I have had some burns. I rarely burn. I mean, I rarely burn. I'm one
Yeah,
of
I
the
got
folks
tats.
that
Like I said,
do
I
not
gotta
burn
turn.
easily.
I gotta turn this into a sleeve like very soon, which is also, you know, like something I gotta put on my list because like all I got is like the prayer hands right there, and I just plan on, you know, turning this whole entire thing like, you know, just to like a religious sleeve.
You know what sunburn feels like? A steam burn.
Hmm.
If you've ever been burnt by hot steam,
Hmm.
it's like that only over a bigger area.
Yeah, and I think like after it heals, then all of a sudden it just starts
Itchy.
peeling,
Peeling.
then it's like peeling and flaking off. And
That's been the majority of my burns would be I end up with peeling skin but no pain. So my burn, like I said, I rarely burn. It has happened.
I
You
had
know,
the
where I
opposite.
fight
It just
things.
hurt
It
and
has
itched
happened.
and never healed.
I'm
So
more
a lot of-
likely just to peel without pain.
so a lot of SPF or cocoa butter.
Yeah, mine just cocoa butter doesn't do anything. SPF.
SPF types.
Yeah.
All right, SPF.
Cocoa
Yeah.
butter will make it worse.
Yeah, cocoa
Oh.
butter is going to give you the tan. You want to darken up? Put the cocoa butter on.
I'm
gonna
already dark enough, so
Magnify the
Yeah,
sun.
you wanna avoid a burn.
That stuff is for getting the tan. That's what cocoa butter is for getting a tan, not for preventing or injury. It's made for getting a tan.
Anything
Oh.
oily will actually it basically makes you burn faster.
Yeah,
It amplifies everything.
yeah. So does water. Water will do that. If you stay wet, like if you have a spray bottle of water to cool yourself off, you can spritz water on you to cool yourself down at the same time you're burning a tan in.
Mm.
That's a nice, inexpensive trick if you want to get darker, Pat.
All right.
That's probably why I burned actually, because I was in the water.
Yeah, you
Just
washed
spray
out-
the spot where you wear
You
your
washed
shirt.
out-
That's it.
You washed all the SPF off.
Probably. Because I did this thing where I applied it once before we left, and then I never reapplied it again because I forgot the bottle. Should have just bought some. Regretted
That's it,
that. I just didn't want to pay $12 for a bottle that would have cost me $7 at CVS.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want to even your tan, just put the SPF on your arms, your face, you know, and let the other stuff cook in to match.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and wherever I go, like I said, I gotta buy my stuff there because like I don't know what it is about airports and things like that, man. But it's like they why the hell they have problem with people and they damn toiletries and shit like that. Like I'm gonna make a fucking something that's gonna take out this goddamn plane with a small bottle of hair grease.
Someone blew up the Twin Towers, and now we all have to take our shoes off.
Because explosives can come in liquid form, and flammables and stuff like that. You don't want a fire breaking out inside the cabin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And aerosols I get, but those were always banned.
Yeah. Always a few knuckleheads that ruin it for all the normal people.
Oh man, because Jesus
Aerosol.
Christ, I'm like, seriously, dude, I can't bring my deodorant. Like, what the?
There was a whole plane crash that was caused by the fact that some idiot, didn't realize that expired oxygen tank didn't mean empty oxygen tank.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Man.
Holy mackerel.
Madness says, I've never been on a plane. I've been on lots of planes and things like that, and even though I have a ginormous fear of heights, man, shit, I don't know. It's just been safer to me. I don't know. It's like it's been kind of safer and quicker compared to like driving. But that's just my opinion right there.
It's definitely safer than driving.
Looking out the window in a plane is fun. Have you flown yet, Pat?
Oh man, I've flown a whole lot.
Oh, you've flown a lot, for crying out loud. You were overseas.
I was overseas.
Yeah, you were overseas fighting war. Yeah, you've flown.
Yeah, like a couple of years ago, like I said, I took a trip down to Gainesville to see some folks. So it was like, yeah, I've been on a plane lots of times, like and shoot, and lucky, like I said, I've been able to touch down every time. So I always worry every time I feel that plane go.
Yeah, takeoffs and landing. I keep my teeth together.
Man,
I don't want to bite my tongue if we hit something.
The most likely time for something to go wrong is takeoff and landing, specifically landing.
Yeah.
Most like hit something likely on the ground, not in the air.
Yeah, mostly I've been like flying with like American Airlines, so it's like they've been real reliable and stuff like that. Unlike Delta, like Jesus, whew.
Delta's awful.
Man, I hear too many, and I see too many accidents. Like I said, when it comes to Delta, I think like what not too long ago I saw like on Twitter, like where it's like
instruments. Delta's like all broken instruments and dead pets.
Yeah, it's like it was like the nose of the plane was pushed in. That they said like they hit like a bird. I'm like, what kind of bird did they hit? A pterodactyl? Like,
no, that's what it looks like when you hit a bird at high velocity.
Man, I'm like, bird
They're
strong enough.
A huge problem.
Bird is strong enough to do that right there. Well, then they said they were going to LaGuardia, and I heard like they have a huge bird problem there. Like one time, like I think one time they were taking off, and of course birds, flew through the it flew through like one of the engines, took one of the engines out, and they had to make it like an emergency landing.
Landed on the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember that. I was watching it live.
Yeah. Because a flock of birds just zoop right into the thing.
Geese, and they went right through and blew out the engine.
Yeah, geese are big. You don't want that in your engine.
Man.
Yeah, that was that they made a movie too. I didn't see it, but I remember live watching it with the plane floating on the river and rescuing folks. And that man was an amazing pilot that he managed to maneuver that plane without hydraulic support anymore. He did it without hydraulics, and it had to be done right the first time and one shot only, and he did it.
Yeah, he had one shot.
And he did it.
And you can land wrong on water and crash. He managed to do it and keep everything together.
They were actually saying that the fact that the Hudson was completely like still and calm that day is not usual for the Hudson. So he was very lucky that was the case.
Yeah.
He even said he was lucky. He's like, if it had been as choppy as it normally
he knows
is, he would have been able to make that landing.
He knows he was lucky.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows.
Everybody was lucky.
With help of a lot of fucking luck. That's so hard. There's a crash.
Like a Denzel Washington movie, man. The way he pulled that off, like Denzel Washington.
We're so far off topic, but there's a video, a very famous video of off the coast of Africa, a plane that ditched into the ocean near the island and like flipped. And people were saying how that pilot was such a terrible pilot because so many people died. I'm just like, the fact that anybody lived was amazing, considering he was actually a terrorist that had broken into the cockpit. So he was trying to fight them off and ditch in the ocean.
Wow.
Oh, that dude is a hero too.
Better than ditching into a crowded urban area.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you gonna ditch? In New York, it's New York. Where are you gonna land?
Yeah.
Everywhere is big buildings.
That's right.
There's nowhere to land.
Yeah, Madison right here putting, like I said, I wonder how many people here have joined the Mile High Club. Well, the Mile High Club is really kind of hard to join, man, these days and stuff like that, ever since 9/11.
That's for perverts. Mile High Club.
You spend more than 5 minutes in the bathroom, they start banging on the door. Like,
yeah, exactly. They start banging on.
Who could find enough room in one of those bathrooms to do it?
No, like, ooh, like
it's hard to do your own business by yourself.
Disease. Sorry.
Oof,
Leave me alone. No, I don't. Like, If you don't keep the door shut, I'm gonna blow up this bathroom. And by blow, that's the last thing you want to say. Like,
I hate airline bathrooms. Oh
Man,
I do. I hate airplane. Can you think of a less sexy place than an airplane bathroom?
oh my gosh.
man.
Right?
I agree.
Like I
I
said,
agree.
won't you go to the actual, airport bathroom? You got more space there and things like that. And some motherfuckers actually do be
Just
doing
like
this
a-
shit right there.
Like the toilet. I mean, it's like the same thing at the end of the day. When you just expose yourself to all this stuff because yuck. The floor of a theater would be the answer to that.
The what?
The floor of a theater. Like, I don't get people that screw in theaters. You know how fucking filthy that floor
Oh
is?
gosh.
the thing.
Oh,
You
Well,
don't know the lights are off, but
oh gosh.
Well, I haven't did that, but it's like I have made out in the theater, so it's like shit. So
I had sex in a bathroom stall once, but it wasn't on an airplane. Young, horny, 18 years old. What can I tell you?
well, yeah,
18 years old at college, reading books about all that kind of stuff. Oh, I got to do that too.
Oh yeah, well, college was like what I'm saying, the best time and stuff like that before Me Too, but shit.
Yeah.
All right, but we reached that hour right there, things like that. Like this has been a great stream, man. I like to thank both of you, like Thorne Unchained for coming on. And like, is there anywhere anything y'all want to share right now at this moment? Like any YouTube channels and like your Twitters or things like that, where people can get in touch with y'all?
oh yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter at what the fuck is my Twitter handle? I should just change that to my Twitter handle, Thorne_Midnight. or I'm also Thorne Midnight on Twitch.tv.
Oh yeah, be sure to check out our Twitch. It'd be fun.
It's a lot of fun. I just play video games and talk shit.
Okay, I'll put down my @ for my Twitter and my YouTube. I mean my personal.com.
See,
I'll put that in the side chat, the YouTube side chat.
Hey, hold on, I gotta. Cause sometimes they won't like to. Let me see. I gotta make a.
I think the @ one will work. People will know to use it with a Twitter. I don't have to do a link, but we'll see. There's
all right,
ways
so
around
before
it.
all right, just type some in at first, so I can make you a mod. That way, you're able to put it in very easily. Okay, there. All right. There it goes. Right there. You should be able to put it in now.
Thanks, dude. Okay. I'll get my Twitter URL and put that in normal style.
Right.
That's my Twitter, and I get my website.
Okay, and I'll add them later on when I edit the description box, like adding everything up in there. All right, and while they're doing that,
I've been reminded that train bathrooms exist, and they're actually worse than airplane ones. At least the airplane ones get cleaned.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
All right, now no problem. And of course, me, I'm your boy Pat. You can always find me on Twitter at your boy Pat47, as well as my YouTube channels, your boy Pat, Psycho Rick, and of course, the live stream right here. Also, if you haven't, subscribe to Psycho Rick, because I'm almost there at my first 1,000 subscribers right there, and I can't wait till I reach that. Man, I have so much fun doing that right there, because that's when I really, really get away from the politics and things like that. And I actually got to work on my brand new one today, like while I'm doing like a special request for some people I know, because this is like a woman who's like I've been knowing like since I was a child and things like that. She practically helped raise me, like up to like the guy I am right now. The little small town that we lived in, and she has passed away like a couple of weeks ago, and they had a funeral Saturday. So I'm going to be doing like a special dedication to her. But it's like this close to getting my my first 1,000 subs on there. So if you haven't check that out right there. It's Psycho Rick. And as always, man, shoot, I've had fun talking to you, Thorne Unchained. Thank you for all the wonderful feedback that y'all have given me and helping me. Yeah, and helping me understand, and giving like the better a better stigma and a better, understanding and appreciation of the the nudist community and things like that, So, I hope everybody that watched this, they have like a better understanding when it comes to like the actual nudist community and things like that, and separating it from the exhibitionists and like the people who just like to be naked in public just for the sole purpose of being naked in public, and things like that.
Right.
That everybody can like tell the difference, oh, that's not a real, that's a nudist, but it's like that's not a, that type right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So thank you for helping me with that situation right there, and hopefully when I get the chance to actually visit a nude beach or a nudist resort and things like that,
Corpus Christi.
It'll be a fun one. So it's like I'm looking forward to that right there, man, as well as a lot of things I got on my bucket list right here where I got to keep adding and going through. And a couple of these I've already checked off and things like that because I've already been there, done that, but I still got a whole lot more before I leave this world. But until I see y'all again, man, this is your boy Pat, as always saying, until I see y'all again, good morning, good evening, and good night, y'all.
Good night.
Rock on.